Hey, Gavax here. So, you all remember the hashtag Fix Madden franchise? Well, if you don't, you do now. It was a trending globally on Twitter, and EA came out and responded. You could take a look at my video going over that, which I'll link in the description, and I'll try and remember to do it this time. I think last video I forgot to do that. But EA put out this blog with their promises, and it is now our job to hold them to these promises. Obviously, it's their job to execute, right? Executing is the hardest thing to do. Ideas are easy. Some are, actually innovative. Some are, just steal it from old franchises, steal it from other franchises, that kind of stuff. So they need to execute, and we're going to go through their promises to us as a community. We've been talking about this for years on this channel. Back when I talked about franchise sucking, and it'd be like 50-50 like versus dislike because people didn't believe me then. But now it does seem like the general public has come around to it, getting that trending, and everybody's kind of understanding how bad it is nowadays. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's go over the franchise updates coming to Madden 21. And they talk about Madden 22 and some of the promises and changes that they'll make there too. So let's go through that right here. Hey, franchise fans! It's been about 4 weeks since we last spoke, and we wanted to share some of the progress and the path forward for franchise improvements. There are 4 key things we'd like to update you on regarding franchise mode in Madden NFL. Our franchise team, Madden is a live service, high-level franchise commitments in 21 and 22, your involvement as the community. Now, our franchise team, as I said in July, they want to deliver better. Okay, let's just read it out, and then I'll get my thoughts on it. To better deliver on community feedback, we are reshaping our franchise team, to increase our focus specifically on the direction described ahead. Now, reshaping's probably increasing their franchise team, because basically it's right now, it's like, a couple of player rating dudes and a hamster on a wheel that are on their franchise team. So hopefully they threw a few more bodies at it. Hopefully they hired people and didn't just take away from other parts of the Madden franchise. But we know EA, they run it like a manufacturing shop where they basically, hey, we're making more money year over year as a service. Should we increase our service? No, let's decrease it. Less content and MUT. Franchise has stayed stagnant for 10 years. We're gold. Increase the profit. We are making changes, including dedicating a higher percentage of team bandwidth, which just basically means they've reassigned people. They're not hiring new people, sadly. To deliver a greater involvement in core franchise features through Madden 21 post-launch support, Madden NFL 22 launch, and beyond. Now, here's what I hope happens, right? I hope they leave the gameplay people alone, let them keep coding the gameplay and improving that year to year. I hope they leave the MUT team alone. I hope they leave everything alone except cut the long shot staff and refocus them on franchise. Long shot, aka QB1, aka face of the franchise, that bullshit, get out of here. You're gone, right? I get the yard's cool now. Keep doing the yard stuff. I want to see what that evolves into. But they can fuck right off with the whole story mode bullshit. So take all those resources, cut the mode, put them in the franchise. I think we'll be happy because there's a large amount of people that have worked on that, larger than you'd think, and I think more than gameplay to be fair. I think that's what I heard, right? More people working on that long shot bullshit than gameplay or MUT. We are passionate about franchise fans just like you. We're placing some of our most passionate franchise voices to lead the creative path forward. Now, some of our most passionate franchise voices. Like, it's a funny thing to say, right? They're placing some of the most passionate franchise voices. It feels like if they had like a mouse voice, is like the most passionate, right? If they had passionate voices there, you'd think there'd be some improvement there over the last few years. But it's clearly like passionate, but they're screaming into a pillow, right? It's like boning down in my house. I don't want to go any more lewd than that. We are on YouTube. Madden as a live service. We operate Madden NFL as a true live service. That means we deliver content, features. Heck! Oh, they're getting really comfortable with us when they say heck. Even new game modes sometimes, i.e. Superstar KO throughout the year. In Madden NFL 20 post-launch updates, you saw new X Factors and Superstar abilities. New mode in Superstar KO, new house rules, and playbook challenges and head-to-head seasons, new scenarios and franchise, evolving celebrities and teams in Superstar KO, weekly commentary updates, roster changes, and of course, massive amount of overall content you've come to expect in Madden Ultimate Team. The game you buy on launch day is only beginning of the annual Madden NFL 21 journey. Our commitment to you is delivered meaningful change to the game throughout the year. That's bullshit. Let's talk about that in a bit. In Madden 21, we'll expand our dedicated live service team to allow more focused delivery of franchise improvements based off your feedback, while continuing to evolve the broader game for a wide cross-section of Madden fans. All right. Now let's go to the top. Our commitment to you is delivering meaningful change to the game throughout the year. Now, we can tell by what the meta stayed stagnant the whole year that this is a fucking lie. They've done this in the past where they've, nerfed and fixed a few of the issues with the game, contain blitzes, that kind of stuff. But this past year, like they basically took like the months off of launch after. They're like, ah, fuck it. I mean, we'll maybe fix some bugs. Disconnect glitch, they fixed a couple of those, but there's still some of those left. And the meta did not change, right? It was still, contain blitzes all year long, run the ball, dive, stretch, roll out corners, and they didn't fix shit. And so their commitment right now, they say these words, and yes, words are all we can kind of see right now, but we need the action, right? Like I said earlier, we need to hold their feet to the fire to come through on their promises. We need to come back in 6 months, 10 months from now, take a look at this and say, did you do it? Did you evolve the game and deliver meaningful change to it throughout the year? Because they said they're going to. Okay? When somebody says they're going to do it, they got to do it. Or else it's just hollow words. And you know what? Just frustrating. I don't even know how to put a word. Like, what are we going to do? Right? Not buy it? That's not true. People still buy the fuck out of it. 6-7 million people, right? Going to Clint? But we can at least, tweet at them and make their lives hell right there, right? Like, say, hey, you promised but didn't deliver. So they said they'll expand their dedicated live service team to allow for more focused delivery of franchise improvements. So expand means higher. Now, we just know, I don't think expand is anything like it. They're going to expand that one team by taking from other teams. So it is what it is, right? They get a certain amount of resources from their bosses. Their bosses need to buy back, $2 billion worth of stock every couple years. They need to give themselves bonuses of $10 million on top of their already $6.5 million salary. So that already's happened, right? Like, can you imagine if they took that person's bonus, or those two people's bonuses that were like, over 10 million? They took those two and hired staff with that instead of giving those bullshit bonuses to like their friends, right? Instead of the hand jobs, like maybe Andrew Wilson's gets really nice handies, right? These guys are just jacking like fucking hours on end daily. They're like, oh, that's worth it. 10 million, give it to them. Instead of hiring, 10, 20 new developers, new people to work on franchise, keep giving the circle jerks. Just do it. Fuck it. Let's reassign people elsewhere. So it's frustrating, but their current plan is to deliver Madden 21 updates and 2 or 3 title updates over the course of the coming months. Something that we need to see. Okay? Cool. And we'll wait and see for those. And if their updates are just like, players moving, X factors and abilities and shifting around like that, we'll know they're bullshit, right? We'll get through what they actually promise. So with that, and we're sharing with you some of the areas and franchise we'll target both at our live service in 21 and next year for 22. We have to first acknowledge that this work requires a lot of planning. So while we can't commit to an exact timeline right now, we can share areas where we're targeting for being able to change 21 and beyond. We are targeting these based off your feedback from our social channels, our Game Changer program, and how we see you playing our game. Okay, so they're going to say how we see you playing our game. You don't know me. Post-launch support in 21. With each update, this list may shift our plans for 21-22 come to more focus. We share our community as the list evolves. Tuning. Improve progression and regressive players. Like, this has been huge, right? Like, I think old Maddens had it much better than current Maddens, right? Guys aren't able to improve themselves on the bench. Like, how many people do we see break out a little bit later in their career, like the Wes Welker types that, like, didn't start away? Like, in Madden, you have to start in order to improve, which makes no sense conceptually. Like, there should be some offseason random number generator, just like out of the park baseball, where you kind of go up or down based off, random. How hard did you work in the offseason? Did you let yourself go Kelvin Benjamin, or did you go best shape of your life? Right? There needs to be some sort of randomness in the offseason there with progression, and regression is also really bad, right? It's like people over 30 don't matter, right? You just fuck off now, right? Where we see like quarterbacks now playing into their 40s successfully. You don't see that in Madden. So there needs to be a little bit more of there are some outliers, and there are some guys that there's the regular curve, and then there's the Jerry Rices, like the all-time greats that you'll see, whereas you don't really see those that often or at all in Madden. Not that we see a lot of Jerry Rices, but there are some players that can play well into the 30s that don't regress, right? We get some CB sometimes do that. So definitely needs to be a little bit more thought out there, progression, regression. I like that they're talking about that. I like that they're tuning that. Good job that you're recognizing that's a major issue in your game. Improve core player progression into the future, such as X factors and abilities for older players that work well with incoming rookie classes. Core player progression into the future. Okay, so the same thing we talked about, just they're talking about abilities in the same way. Commissioner tools. We'll talk about that in a second. AI personnel management. good, right? Like, isn't it's pretty easy. There's been some pretty bad trade exploits in the past. All you have to do is go check out Bengal, and he knows all the exploits and how to do in their rebuilds and whatnot. But the AI will make better team management decisions in the draft, free agency, and trades. Like, with the draft and with players coming out, I think I don't know. I don't love seeing their potential. I wish they'd just hide that. Just get rid of potential altogether. You can have a hidden behind the scenes potential, but I think you just get rid of the potential and not show it to players, and it's kind of like more realistic, because like you don't know how well and how good that guy can improve. Like, he can be a stud in college, and all of a sudden he just doesn't grow from there. Or like maybe like, oh, he's got all the physical tools, but he doesn't really have the the power moves, swim moves. So he's not a great pass rusher right now, but he can grow into it. So I don't know. That's something with a draft. Free agency, AI tools. Now, I haven't really played a whole lot of franchise last couple years, so I don't know as much about free agency and where the cheese is. But generally, isn't it something like, at least when I used to play, you sign the top free agents and you just trade them right away? Do they have something where like nobody offers anything for them for like a year? I know another game did that, and one of the things where I tried that before, maybe that was Madden back in the day, where like they would basically have no trade value after you sign them as free agents to stop that cheese. Playoff and Super Bowl presentation, improve and refresh. Okay, cool. We're no longer going to be getting the trophy from President Obama. Just kidding. I think that was only in like 2011-ish era. X Factor Superstar Ability Customization. Okay. Introduce the ability to customize X Factor abilities to all players, allowing you to customize your roster to see fit. Now, that's awesome. Right? Definitely should happen. I don't like giving people the ability to customize your roster inside a franchise itself, but outside a franchise, this is 100% should be a thing. I agree. That shouldn't be too hard of a fix. Career stats. Thank God, dude. The fact that this game doesn't have year-to-year, like, one year doesn't have any effect on the other, there's no, like, way of historically knowing, hey, this guy was a stud, he had 20 sacks, then it's gone. I love it, right? I love it that they're going to show more like, I don't know, maybe it's too much of me as a nerd who really enjoys stats, but seeing how my players play in the past, having a history of them, watch them grow, watch them do, and then like look back at their stats at the end of their career rather than like 3 years is fucking awesome. I love it. Yes. Give more depth, more storylines and historical stuff, right? A guy moving from one team to another, now he's like, going back home again, right? Just look at the storylines in the NFL. Of Tom Brady moving to Tampa, but like if he plays New England, it's like a huge hyped up game. The announcers continually talk about it. And, more shit like that. That's good stuff. Trade logic. More fidelity, depth, and authenticity. Okay, just all you have to do is talk to Bengal, right? Swami and Bengal, I know, are pretty decent friends. Just have one guy reach out to the other. He knows all that fuck up shit. Talk to the community. Retirement UI. Better insight into retirements each season. Allow players to react, manage. Good. It's the UI versus the actual, regression of players. So we'll see the UI changes. And there's a lot of things they can do with UI updates. We don't need to get to it all now, but there's been plenty of, I think, I've seen tons of tweets, videos on that shit. So, again, the community's got your back. On a lot of these ideas, all you have to do is Google them or research them, and people have already thought through them and thought through them really well. Playoff update. Add an authentic playoff bracket screen to see who's in, who's won, and who's up next. Nice. More depth, right? It's the small things that matter in franchise and in life, really. So adding more of that kind of in-depth, kind of that love, that TLC that we all need. To basically make us fall in love with the game mode again. Commissioner tools is a large build of items with a lot of opportunities, a lot of work. We see this as something we'll continue to work on and give you more control of your franchise in the year ahead. I like that. I like that this is kind of like, hopefully they're keeping up with online franchise mode. Online franchise mode is the best franchise mode in all the sports games. It's not close to the online Madden experience. Because like while 2K has a better offline experience for franchise, online Madden is, I think, I don't know, because MLB doesn't even have it anymore. I don't know if there's one better than online Madden franchise. And it's cool that they're going to continue to keep that going. Commissioner tools, priority ranking, ability to undo transactions, ability to approve trades, reset a game in case of disconnect. Cool. Madden NFL 22. Now their thoughts. So that's what they can get done this year, they think. And obviously, more things pop up, more things go fade away, right? Like coding, and I'm not an expert coder, but what I know of it is like sometimes you look at a problem, you're like, all right, that's probably going to take me, a week or two to do. But then like you Google it, find the solution. It's like, oh shit, I did that in 40 minutes. And it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe not that drastic, but like, oh, well now I got this time, I might as well just jerk off. So sometimes more things can happen. Maybe you think of something, and then like I saw this past year, and that will be the show. right? The developer before the stream was like, oh, we just put this in the last week. Whereas, like, you know, you get perfect on these cutoffs. So you throw it perfectly from your outfielder to the cutoff guy. He can turn and throw it perfectly if you hit the meter perfect. He's like, oh, yeah, we did that in a week. It's like, oh, wow, that's actually a pretty major change. That's really cool. So, like, some of these things they can add in happens like that. But other things will take a longer time, and obviously the skill of developer definitely matters too. So some of the stuff I understand where they're talking about evolving and their game plan changing, because that's a lot of the job. Is it's hard to estimate ahead of time until you really get your hands in there and start doing it. But I do like that they're committing to this stuff, that we're gonna see changes here. For Madden NFL 22, it's still very early. We're at the very beginning of the planning and pre-production of next year's product. That said, we've been actively discussing some of the areas we'd like to focus on, stemming from your feedback and player engagement. Here are a few of the areas. While not fully committed yet, we are exploring creatively. There it is. I can read. Shut up. Coaching and staff management. Thank goodness, right? Where the fuck offense, defense coordinators? Where's our strength and conditioning? Like, go back and look at NFL head coach 09 for how you should do a head coach progression, right? Where they get certain, like, I know everybody hates the buzzword abilities. They got certain abilities they can put up on each. Let me see if I can't find that. Sorry, you guys. I've been playing over the show. You can look at that as my background right now. Actually, let's make it more thematic. I think I have this one. There you go. All right. NFL head coach 09, coaching staff. All I have to do is look at it. This shit's, I guess I could look at their skills too. All right, where is it? I kind of want to look at skills. This shit was bonkers awesome, and I can't really, oh, is this one of them? Nope, that's not it. Damn it, do I have to go back and look at my own video? I do. There's also create a play a head coach. I want create a play back in Madden. All right. Well, anyways, they had skills that you could unlock. Is this one of them? Oh, here's NCAA 14. I guess we can look at this one. I don't know. This is from Operation Sports. So, like, there's different skills you were able to unlock in. Well, I thought head coach, but whatever. It is what it is. Anyways. Go back and look at that game. NFL head coach had a lot of great things that you can do. And NFL head coach felt more... NFL head coach was very much like Civilization for me. Anybody who ever played Civilization, it's like, all right, one more turn. All right, let me keep going. Let me just try one more thing. NFL head coach did an amazing job. And when they merged NFL head coach 09 staff into 10 and 11 Madden, I was like, oh my God. Madden 10 and 11 would be fucking phenomenal for franchise mode because they brought the NFL head coach guys in. All they do is take that franchise mode, copy and paste that onto Madden, and you got the best Madden of all time. Sadly, they basically fired all the staff from head coach, and fuck you, EA, for doing that. But that could have been the greatest of all time. So go back and look at NFL head coach 09. Put like 20 hours into it. 10 hours into NFL head coach 09. You'll be like, holy shit, this shit's addicting. That was a great game. Madden NFL 22. All right, so we've been actively discussing some of the areas we'd like to focus on, stemming from your feedback and player engagement. Here are the few areas that they want to improve for 22. Coaching and staff management. We talked about that. Scouting improvements. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, scouting improvements. Go look back at all your old Maddens, all your old NCAAs. There were so many great, wonderful scouting systems back in the day. You could read so many good ones. I don't even know. I don't know how to start there as the video's getting a little long as it is. New scenario. I'm just excited. New scenario engine enhancements. New team chemistry system. Commissioner tool improvements. So they're going to do more for that. They already committed for in 21. Awesome stuff right there. More content, examples, relocation, branding assets, and franchise. They got to make... are we going to get NBA 2K-like faces? Right now, Madden faces are embarrassing compared to 2K, and a lot of people have a bugaboo about that. I don't really care as much as... Why would I care about faces when I have this one? Relocation, branding assets. Like, so that's cool. Good. More relocation shit. You know, hire some of those people that have modded your game for PC, right? All you have to do is see those players that have done a great job, like those people that put the college mod tools out there. Be like, hey... You want a job? You got it. You got passion. Bring them in. Now mod for your game in-house. Okay? It's not modding when you do it yourself. And you pay the people to do it. It's, you know, development to that point. And logos, relocation, options for more variety and depth and deeper careers, plus key additions that will reveal as you get deeper to Madden 22. It's not that hard, right? To hire the passionate, and they have hired community members in the past, but your mods, there's been some good mods out there. Your involvement as a community, basically what they're saying is... The most important part about this is this feedback platform called Madden Voice. And so they're going to use more of this Madden Voice. I don't know entirely what Madden Voice involves, but it's basically taking our feedback, organizing, and showing like which one's the best. So it must be some sort of like tool that they have going on. We saw, they said it had to do with the beta too, so we'll see what kind of forums they prop up for our suggestions. And, you know, we'll look at every new feature reveal and live service update in the following way. And they're going to try and gather more community feedback on it. So that's my thoughts. I'm excited. I like that they promised these things. Now they need to deliver, and that's the hard part, right? Promises are easy as fuck, right? I can make a promise to you not to swear this year. That's not going to happen, but I can fucking do it. See you tomorrow.